Yo guys, what's up? Simo here, and today we're gonna be taking a look at the new Nation Nulgath Armaments crafts. So I'm gonna be showing you each and every weapon and how to get the weapons. Enjoy! So we're here back at the Forge of the Forlorn, and let's make our way directly to one of the forges. And let's click on the hammer and the anvil so we can see the new Nulgath Nation Armaments. So these are all new weapons that you guys can craft, and before I explain the stats and how to get them, let me just show you the new designs. So we have the Voidwrecker hammers of Nulgath, which these are very cool, guys. Look at these. So basically there's two of them. They're really big. They have some particles, black and red, and they go very well with the sets in the same forge. So next we have the Voidwrecker Bloodthirst hammers of Nulgath. These are basically the same, but they have different stats. Next, we have the Voidwrecker Great Axe of Nulgath. It's a recolor of the Woundstock, the weapon that you can drop from the Woundstock boss. And it is different because it's more dark and red, black and red. And yeah, still very big and still very cool. I'm definitely gonna get this one. And the next weapons, like these ones with the number 3, basically these weapons are upgrades of what you can get from the dungeon from the Celadine Forest, which I'm going to be showing you later. So yeah, these weapons are not new. They are just upgrades of these stats, which they're actually very good weapons. And before we move on with the video, I just wanted to read the news posts or the design notes to make you guys understand on why they release these weapons. So, uniquely powerful weapons. At the very same anvil where you crafted a mighty weapon for Poniard, the Forge of the Forlorn calls you back to it with many new and unique powerful weapons to craft. The anvil allows you to craft weapons with unique or unusual stats. For example, a weapon may offer a very high critical bonus but reduces haste, or perhaps it only affects a single stat. It's important to focus on the description and stats when choosing your weapon than looks alone. So basically what they're trying to tell us is that each and every different weapon have different stats. So depending on what build we're trying to go for, we should get that weapon. So the intention of implementing this system is to provide options to players without best in slot weapons like Phoenix Blade of Nulgath, 8 Betrayal Blade, and etc. These are mostly optional weapons for players trying to catch up. Players are different level ranges, and players with different difficulty levels and different levels of upgrades. So yeah, there you go. So basically these weapons are for the players that just are trying to catch up. They just finished their Nulgath questline. They're just getting started with the Nulgath 3B, and they don't want to go through the skew hardcore farm like the Phoenix Blade of Nulgath 2 or the Abaddon's Cruelty and stuff like that. So yeah, not gonna lie, these weapons have actually very good stats, as you guys can see. Some gives crit, some gives a lot of haste, and also these new weapons, guys, the new weapons that they released, these actually have more damage. As you guys can see, 2300, they have more damage than the upgrades of the Thux weapon. As you guys can see, so basically you can just farm one of these and you have a very high attack. But of course, not as high as the Phoenix Blade of Nulgath that I have right now. So every blade I'm clicking on is being compared to the Phoenix Blade of Nulgath 2 that I have. So I will now be explaining the new items that you can craft. This is the Oblivion Shards, which some of you guys are familiar with because we use this to actually craft the 8th Betrayal Blade of Nulgath. So you will be needing 25 Dark Crystal Shards and 65 Diamond Shards. These are a lot of materials, guys, so you will need to grind a lot. But you only need Oblivion Shards for these 3 new weapons because these 3 weapons are very strong, so they're not gonna let you craft that for free. You will have to grind a lot for these. So in addition, you will be needing Diamonds of Nulgath, Dark Crystal Shards, Soul Gems, and of course these ones you can get from Skew or from other quests from Bamboozle or Crag, and in any way you guys are farming. But yeah, you will be needing 3 Oblivion Shards each. Next, we have the Nation Weapon Fragment, which will be used in every weapon that you see here. the nation weapon fragment is a very important material in these crafts because every craft you will need it. Some would require 50, some would require 100, and some would require even 150 or more. But yeah, this ones you actually need 250. So how do you get nation weapon fragment? So the nation weapon fragment you can drop from the mobs here in the Forge of the Forlorn. The sentient weapons, the ones floating right here, they have a chance to drop the nation fragments. They have a chance to drop 1 to 3, I believe. And the boss weapons that we actually had to kill for the quest line have a guaranteed drop. I think it's like 3 to 7, something like that. But yeah, the floating weapons in the Forge of the Forlorn dropped the nation fragments. So next we have 2 sets of weapons that we can craft right here in the Forge of the Forlorn from scratch. So these are the Void Drakkar Void Shards right here and the Oversoul Curved Blade. Both of these weapons you can craft from scratch and upgrade them until level 3, which is a power 900 weapon. So for these you will just be needing soul gems and nation weapon fragments, which you can farm everything right here in the Forge of the Forlorn, because not only the floating weapons drop nation weapon fragment, but they also do drop soul gems, and you only need 50 of them. So if you have friends or guildmates that need a weapon without wanting them to grind a lot, you can just help them farm these and they can be happy with this because these are gonna be stronger than your typical scaled weapon. And while we're looking at those, we can see the description is, as you guys we read earlier on the design notes, every weapon here have different description based on their stats. So let's say this Corrupted Fiend Saber Tree says an unusual balance between HP and attack is observable on the saber. And if we go back to the hammers and the Great Axe over here, the hammers, as I said earlier, have the same design but different stats. So this first Void Drakkar hammers of Nulgath have more haste, and the Void Drakkar Bloodthirst hammers have more crit. And if we read the description, it says directly here, the critical value of these hammers have also been exponentially improved. And if we go to the other one, it says here the speed. The speed of these hammers have also been exponentially improved. So the speed meaning more haste and the critical meaning more crit. So yeah, you get the full picture. Now every weapon has respective description for respective stats, and that is very cool. I know not many people read the descriptions, they just want to see if it's cool or not, but there are as well players that love reading the lore and the description, so that's very cool to see that they're thinking for other players. And also these weapons are very easy to farm, so I'm gonna be explaining how you can get these weapons now. But yeah, they're very easy to farm and they're better than scaled weapons. You just need soul gems and nation weapon fragments. Alright, our next weapon is the infused fiendish magi staff, which we can get this from Bamboozle, from his store there. I didn't expect a weapon from Bamboozle to show up here, but yeah, if a new player got that stuff, he can upgrade it to the number 2 right here. And the next weapons are the Corrupted Fiend daggers, the Corrupted Fiend scythe, and the Corrupted Fiend spear. And these items, to upgrade to the number 2, you're gonna be needing the item that you can drop from the Kragan Zul's challenge in the Celadin Forest. So let's head on over there. Alright, so if you want to get the weapons from the Kragan Zul's challenge, we're gonna go on over to the Celadin Forest and make our way all to the left from the spawn and go directly to the monastery, which is on the left if you already know, if you already finished this quest line. But yeah, once we're here, I can already see some players doing the quest line, which I already love. But yeah, once we're here, we can just do the Kragan Zul's challenge. And as you guys can see, we can drop the number 1 weapons here. So as you guys can see, we have the Corrupted Fiend daggers, the Corrupted Fiend saber, the Corrupted Fiend scythe, and the Corrupted Fiend spear, as we saw earlier. So this is where you get the level 1 weapon of what you're gonna be crafting later. So take note here, the required level is level 37. So basically once they reach the Forge of the Forlorn. They're already level, the new players are already level 40, and they want to upgrade these weapons, and they will be able to do that in the Forge of the Forlorn. So yeah. But yeah, as you guys can see, I tried running the dungeon and I got the corrupted fiend scythe. But yeah, now that the challenge is over, let's head on back to the forge and see what we can upgrade this baby up to. So as you guys can see, I can now upgrade it to the corrupted fiend scythe 2, and then I can do it to the 3. So at least now you guys get the idea where you can get these weapons from, back all the way in the Celadine Forest. So this, what you're trying to do basically is give more weapon upgrades to players that need it, and the ones that just came from the Celadine Forest. So basically this is very good because they're thinking about other players, not only the ones that are the hardcore grinders, the ones that are farming like the methods I taught you in my past videos. But yeah, this is very cool to see, and can't wait to see more of this. They said that this is experimental, and I think the experiment is really good. I think we should have like also other types of crafts just like this, not only hardcore grindy stuff. It might be like little additions to the side, but yeah, they're still very good, and you actually need this. You can't just have major grindy weapons. Having weapons like this are very important as well. So yeah, that's a plus. Alright, and to almost end the video, we have the upgrades from Thuk's crafts. We have Thuk's Phoenix Blade 4, Sir Fainal's Phoenix Blade 4, and Sir Fainal's Phoenix Blade 0.5. I actually didn't know what 0.5 meant, but if we read the description, it says that 0.51 is, despite its looks, severely increasing for the speed of it at the cost of critical. So what this means is basically it negates more crit, and it puts more stats more on the haste. Meanwhile, the other weapons of Sir Fainal has more crit and less haste. And if you guys read the descriptions, it all makes sense. And then we have the Paladin Phoenix Blade 4 and the Knight Phoenix Blade 4, in which you will be needing tons of materials for these. So good luck, guys. You're gonna be needing more Phoenix runes, more tainted Phoenix runes from Skew Soul Gems, Thuk's approvals, the past weapon before, and nation weapon fragment to top it all. So that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think about the new descriptions and the new weapons. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.